in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Please join me. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. And please stand if you are able. Good morning. We're going to sing I Send My Love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heaven, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me.
You all harmonized so well this morning. Somebody claimed their voice out loud, and suddenly we were harmonizing. Can't. I need a lot of help. More than you, my love, can just tuck it down there. So it's, thank you. Hi, everyone. We're just, thank
I'll do
you.
your arms today.
Thank you. See, is that sweet? Wow, could you be my voice too? Thank you. What I was going to say to you earlier, Ireland, is how happy I am that you're here. And now you're doing what? 3 jobs at least? You're doing the coffee stand. You're doing cosmetology school. You're singing for us. More than that.
I'm just in a band as well.
And in a band as well. It's good to be young. It's good to be young. And we received the blessing and the benefit. Thank you so much. Ward, thank you as always. Ellen's on the camera duty today, I think. I have a feeling what she is managing is some sort of technology back there. Ethan is in the sound booth. Thank you. I really thank you. It's such a gift to have you here. I saw a ghost called Jerry slip in and slip out so quickly. Until tomorrow, he is still under COVID watch. So just quarantining to be sure that he is not contagious. Had an exposure, but seems to be doing great. Hasn't contaged yet. And all in all, we are not great in numbers, but we are mighty in spirit and mighty in presence. We gather to bring forth the truth that is within us, to remember who we are, and to allow that which we are to be stirred up, to be energized. We give attention to spiritual ideas, and they grow stronger in our midst. They grow stronger in the midst of us. They go stronger in the midst of our lives. They go stronger in the midst of all things that we encounter. These spiritual ideas are contagious in the most positive way. Spiritual ideas are contagious. You become an infection of positivity in the world, or of good, as you choose to adopt and utilize and live these truths in your life. And so we come together to be reminded. We welcome you who are online in the warm and loving spirit of unity as we do each Sunday. We are so grateful for your presence. And when you identify yourself, if you can, on the Facebook feed or in whatever way is available to you to watch us, we get to see who you are. The Facebook feed, they're telling me the chat isn't for some reason counting numbers. And one of the reasons we like to count numbers, we're a church, number one, and we wonder, is anybody watching, or are we doing this for self-entertainment and self-gratification? Just the ego driving the show again. Now, we love to know you're there because we love to count numbers. And so as we welcome you, we want you to know that it matters to us that you're there, that you are part of us, wherever you might be this Sunday morning or Tuesday night or whenever you happen to watch our broadcast. And in that, as we reach far and wide, what we remember is there really is only one presence and one power that knows no distance, no time, no space. Where we are in any given moment, in our thought, in our heartbeat, is our connection point with all others. And so wherever you are, we know we're at one with you. We're at one with you in prayer. Our prayer team has been receiving many prayer requests. If you would like to have us be with you in prayer for 30 days here and another 30 days with Silent Unity, please drop a note to info@unitysv.org, and we would love to pray with you. In the room, good morning, friends. In the room, if you would like to submit a prayer request, please put it in the prayer box on the credenza. What do you want today? What do you want today? You got up, you showed up, you walked in the door here. What do you want to happen in you today? What would be the greatest blessing for you through being here today? Would it be somehow you would see something differently? Would it be that you would feel something differently? Would it be that your faith is renewed in some direction or another? Would it be that a prayer for a friend or a loved one or for the world would be a felt experience in you of well-being and the realization of good for all? Would it be somehow that we laugh or sing together in a way that touches you or moves you? Or might it be just in saying hello to a friend who's here this morning? Having that connection, that unity connection. In whatever way you wish that this day would bring forth for you or for another, that we call good, be with that intention in your heart. Just rest with that intention in your heart through the day, through the course of the day, and see what shows up. We welcome you into the awareness, the renewed awareness that there is but one presence and one power active in your life, active in and through all of life, active in and through every dimension of life. One presence, one power, equally present in, through, and as each of us. We center ourselves in the awareness. There is but one presence and one power active in my life, active in my world, active in and through all of life, in this moment and always. One presence, one power, one great blessing of good for us all. And so it is. I don't have any announcements, but I'm wondering how the cleanup effort went. Whoa, an announcement, a hand waves in the wilderness. Good morning, Chris.
Hi.
Hi, what's
Two
up?
announcements.
Yes,
World Day of Prayer.
World Day of Prayer,
Something is percolating, so save that evening, Thursday.
September 8th. Mm-hmm.
Something's percolating, and then book and bake and whatever sale. Because I heard somebody had puzzles, and I have a bunch of oracle cards, so it'll be beyond books, but we'll just call it book and bake sale. And that all goes, any proceeds go to the kidlets. We want to
Great.
really make a vibrant youth program and fund it generously.
Perfect, perfect. So September 8th, Thursday, September 8th, is World Day of Prayer. There'll be celebration at Unity Village, certainly as each year, holding that presence and power of prayer for all others. If you would like to fill out a prayer request that with its names, it's a list of names more than a list of needs. And those are read in the Silent Unity Prayer Chapel on World Day of Prayer. If you would like to submit one of those or a prayer for yourself, you can find it online. Go to Unity World Day of Prayer 2022, and you'll find things that you can download and complete a prayer to go to Unity, to go to Silent Unity and to be read. Yes, ma'am.
Well, keep one for here too.
You could, okay. If you're in the room, or info@unitysv.org, which is our contact point, you can. Oh, great. It evolves even as we speak the word. Next week we'll have prayer slips for you here in the sanctuary. The other announcement is the book sale, the book sale, the book sale, the book sale. I have so many books to bring. All my class books, all my workbooks, they're underlined. I write in the margins. I do different colors. They're kind of like artwork projects. So I have a lot of books to bring for the book sale, bake sale. as the case may be, puzzle, sail, bring whatever, be sure it's usable. Leslie? The sale is on the 18th.
Sunday before would be great.
Sunday before would be great. Okay.
We might have a little open time that weekend. That's something.
Okay. Super. So 18th, Sunday before would be the 11th. Go ahead and bring your books if you wish, and we'll get them ready to put out. I want to talk about Wednesday night or Thursday night. Janet and Arian. Wednesday. It all runs together for me. It's just one Sunday after another. I don't have a week in between. It's just Sunday, 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 Sunday. So anything that happens in between is just an extension of Sunday morning for me. So Janet and Arian, they came, they brought all of their equipment, packed up their Prius or whatever that little car was they had, with keyboards and speakers and all different kinds of instrumentation. They are amazing, and they do this in what I call their pilgrimage back to the Northwest for us, because they have family here. There's a daughter in Seattle. I don't know how many family members, but they left here to go to Santa Rosa, California, and that's where they live and do music on Sundays as the music direction team. So there were 16 of us, which didn't feel like it did justice to what we received, which was extraordinary. We don't know how better to advertise things than just to do it as we can. What we notice is it's hard to enroll activity into our lives after, as Janet called it, the pandemonium. She's so funny, but it's hard to get people engaged in, come on, let's sing, let's dance, let's have a great time. But it was an extraordinary evening, and for those of you who were here, thank you so much for your participation, and for those of you who were not, I'm sorry that you missed it, because it was a great event. Any other thing? Ellen, nice to have you back from hiking in God knows where. Such beautiful scenery there. Thanks for sharing your journey with us on Facebook, if you're able to see it. We have new daily words. How much do they cost? $3 each. It's a bargain. 2 months for $3. All right. If you notice that I'm like in my laissez-faire mode, I'm like, ha ha. The cheerleader didn't come this morning. The cheerleader stayed home. The cheerleader said, oh, church, another Sunday? But the me of me, the true inner me of me said, get it together. But I find that I'm a little relaxed this morning, so I'll try to get us out of here by a reasonable time today. And yet, there's no place I actually would rather be than with you, talking about truth ideas. I invited you to dust off an old copy of Lessons in Truth off your shelf or wherever, online, wherever you are able to access it, and begin reading it. Why would I make such a request? I don't think I've ever asked you to do that before. And it would be because I want to get back to what these basic ideas are that have been the foundation of unity. And I noticed as I began reading Lessons in Truth, for I don't know how many times I've read it, the ideas are the same ideas we entertain all the time. They're not new, they're not different. But I believe when you read it for yourself and can take the information in that way and consider it and look at it, it's way more effective than having somebody tell you stuff that you may or may not be in the space to hear or have a desire to hear, or you wish you were outside doing something else. What happens on Sunday mornings in this church is I spend a lot of time trying to find a new way to package the same truths because they are the baseline. And we think, oh, I've heard that before, or I've read that already too many times. But until we make that connection, until it becomes real in us, we're still holding ourselves distant from this power that is at work within us and through us and as the constancy of our lives. So when I hear something and when I read something, I'm more likely to internalize it and to once again go a little deeper in where I find myself in this moment and awaken to the idea in a different way. So for those of you online, I hope you have a copy of Lessons in Truth and that you will read along as we share a few weeks of lessons from Lessons in Truth. And for now, let's meditate together. Oh, Ellen's got something? Oh, you. See, I told you I was just kind of here, but not really. Well, I was just waiting for the right moment, Heather. Yes, of course I was. Come on, honey. Gratitude today,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
It is. I know.
That's true. It would have been. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Apple. Gratitude is our word for the day. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. What joy it is to feel gratitude rising from my heart and filling my mind. Feeling grateful makes me aware of the all-encompassing presence of God, including the divine within me. When I live from my spiritual nature, gratitude becomes the song of my heart. I don't need to wait for a reason to feel grateful. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I find the good in every situation. The blessing that can come from any adversity, and the presence of God in every aspect of life. Practicing gratitude opens my eyes to the blessings that are present and opens my heart to receive even more. I give thanks for an unlimited world, blissful peace, and perfect wholeness. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. Psalm 95:2. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. Thank you.
Your natural state of mind. We would say your resting state of mind. Gratitude is your natural state of mind. Your resting state would be gratitude. That neutral space would be a place where gratitude naturally emanates and from which it emerges, rises, and comes into manifestation. Gratitude, what am I grateful for today? Do we have a meditation intro? Good. I'm happy that that's true.
How could anyone than whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thanks be to you, O God, for the stirrings of new life in me this day, for rising from the dreams of the night to a fresh flowing of energy, for the vitality that awakened my body and the desires that stir my soul. Let me know the power for life that is in me, the life force that is in my senses, and the might that is in my heart. Let me know you as the source of such force. Let me serve love with my strength this day. Let me serve love with my strength in heart and mind and body this day. Let me serve love. With my mind, my heart, and my body, let me serve love this day, in this moment, now. May we be overwhelmed with the power of love that is present with us and around us, moving through us, moving through our hearts and our bodies, our minds, our hands, our feet. Let me be an instrument of love. With your breath, and with the realization that that one presence and one everywhere present good is the presence of love itself. I am willing to absorb and integrate this power of love, this presence of love, allowing it to move in and through my body and my mind, love and only love. The presence of good. Love and only love. My heart beats the rhythm of love and only love. I think there are obstacles. I think there are challenges. I think that things are askew. I think, all these thoughts. But the reality is that I am the heartbeat of love. I am the living forth of love. And when I see and choose the power of love, I see the world with different eyes. Good. There is good. I see those problems or challenges with different eyes. There is good. Only good. All is well, we say. Things are moving in all directions at one time, but I remain centered in the presence and realization of love. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. For the power of love harmonizes, brings forth order, the power of love. I can feel it in my body as I breathe and let go and allow myself to be held. I am held together by the presence of love. I am enfolded and embraced by this presence of love. The presence of love is there in the step I'm about to take. The presence of love inspires my thoughts. I can see things in a new way. Lay down your burden, we say. Lay down your burden and allow the power, the presence of love to lift you up. Feel it move through your body. Allow it to move through your mind. love, only love. Allow it to flow through your hands. Love, only love. Allow it to move through your feet. Love, only love. We say, I am healed. I am whole. Through the power of love. I am guided and blessed by the power of love. May these hands and these feet and this heart and this mind be the willing servant of love. May that which I am be a reflection of the movement of this pure, never-ending, infinite love. I extend it now into the world. May those in need feel the power of the presence of love. We are grateful for an inward knowing that this presence of love is our true home. We are so blessed. And so it is. Amen. Yeah, just that. Yeah.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new. And don't it feel good to know all is well and unfolding as it should? I can change my reality by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours and is mine. I am loved and so are you. And don't it feel good to know all is well and unfolding as it should? Let me hear you say, all is well, all is well. Divine Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well and unfolding as it should. Take it away. I am cloaked in the Spirit, I am fed by the divine. I am one with all that is, my soul is free from time. I am blessed and so are you. And don't it feel good to know all is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. Ward got a new keyboard.
Thank you. Couldn't be better. Where did that song come from? We haven't done it, huh? Huh?
Eddie Watkins Jr.
Oh, Eddie Watkins Jr. Okay.
Actually, it was a request also from, Ireland already knew it, but it was a request from Beth, so I hope she got to hear that.
Oh, I hope so too. I'm sure she's home glued to her Facebook. I'm sure. Just what you'd be doing if you were home. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, in an attempt to explain why we are always asking the questions about who am I, why am I here, what is my purpose, the age-old questions about whatever previous spiritual understanding we've had or how we've come to understand what we study now. There have been stories. There have always been stories. People told stories. It was the way they could figure out to transmit information through story. It was better through story than simply repetitive spoken word that didn't go anywhere. A story has something to it that you can grab onto, and the reminder of that is present with you. One of the spiritual stories is the lion cub that thinks it's a sheep because it was raised by a herd of sheep. What the circumstances are that led to that, I don't know. But one day, a large lion came out of the dense foliage, and here's the little lion by a clear pond looking at itself and baaing in sheep language. And the large lion says, "You're not a sheep," and produces a huge roar of power to awaken this small creature to a greater reality. You're not the limitation of what you think you are, and the story goes on from there. There's the eagle in the chicken yard. The chickens adopted this eagle, and now he waddles along on the ground eating corn with the chickens, and the naturalist comes along and says, "You're not a chicken, you're an eagle," and takes him up to the high places and teaches him to fly. Again, you're not what you think you are. And then there's the falcon that will not fly, and the king looks for somebody who can get the falcon to fly, but the falcon won't leave its branch. And an old woman comes and snips the branch, at which time the falcon flies. Snips the branch is an interesting term, actually. And then there's the story that Unity has adopted down through time about where shall we hide man's divinity. First pages of Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. Where shall we hide man's divinity? Man, woman, however you choose to language. If we put it on the highest mountain, they'll climb and find it there. If we put it in the deepest ocean, they'll dive and find it there. If we put it in a far distant place, they'll travel there and find it there. the Brahmin are trying to decide how to utilize this power for the greatest benefit. Oh, we'll put it within man and woman. They'll never think to look for it there. Is the story? They'll never identify it where it really is. These stories and all the Zen stories and all these amazing teaching stories all point to the same thing. They all tell the same story in different words, but we relate to them, we read it, we think, oh, isn't that a great story? Yes, of course, it's here. And then something shuts down as though there was an automatic curtain that falls between the reality of that and our realization of it, as though there could be a separation between the reality and the realization. The only separation, we're told, is our free will to see or not to see, to choose or not to choose, to awaken or to continue on our unconscious journeys. And you've already tasted awakening to the degree that you continue the journey, which is an amazing thing. You've tasted the higher fruit, if you will, on this tree of evolving consciousness. You've tasted it, or you would never have shown up here, and if you did, you certainly wouldn't have stayed. You wouldn't continue to search for ideas that empower you or that somehow make a difference for you. And you may think it's in the book or the teacher or the whatever the case might be, but the realization is you're matching up with the reality of what's true. And when that happens, even if you can't fully experience it, even if there's still that place in you that remains divided from your own realization, you're matching up against something that you know to be true, and in the truth of that, you continue to expose yourself to the ideas or the awareness of that in a desire to experience more and more and more of that truth. One of the amazing things about studying truth for so long is that it never grows old. You can't be oversaturated. You just want it's like it has some hidden elixir in it that once you taste a little, you want more of that. You have a little awakening. You come back to that over and over. When the Bible in the Genesis story tells the story, and it's a story. It's a story. It's a story. Like the eagle in the chicken yard, or the baby lion who thinks it's a sheep. It's a story, it's a story, it's a story. It's a way of trying to make sense of things. And the interpretation of that story is not set in stone. The interpretation is a living, breathing, unfolding exploration in consciousness. And they call it the fall. The fall of man. The fall of woman. The fall. No, it was, if we can read into the story a deeper truth, it was that moment when somewhere in the deep place of our own evolving consciousness, we made the free will choice to explore and find out for ourselves. Stepped out of the garden and went on this journey of exploration to understand what the nature of life is, what the nature of divine life is. And so in the experience, it says we ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We entertained the power of choice. And what one of my great teachers said one day was, Eve woke up and stepped out of the garden, said, this is nothing. This is nothing here in what we call the garden state. It's in the growth, it's in the enlivening of these ideas, it's in the application, it's coming to know for yourself that you are a God being unfolding infinitely and eternally. You're a God being, you can't be anything other than God being God as you, in you, through you, and you're essential in that regard. You are essential. And until we come to that point where we entertain for ourselves true nature on a different level. And Emily Cady says, to say that you are God or you are gods isn't to say I am all of God, but I am the living emanation of God in this unique experience of life, not separate, but at one with my source. At one with my source. And no matter what that might look like in this given moment, it is unchangeable that is the truth. It is, you're changing all the time. But the unchangeable living truth of you is always as so. You have a bad day, God didn't have a bad day. You're having a bad day. Where's your bad day showing up? In your mind, in your gut, in your shoulders. Where's it showing up? In the tension you're holding about the experience that you're looking at in the world and thinking that it has power over you. Where do you have a bad day? Oh, the body might be an upset. What does Emily Cady say about the body? It's the outermost containment of that which you truly are, the God beingness of God being as you. What's the body? It's an idea we hold about who we are, what we have, what we need, whatever, and it's interrelated, if you will, to all the experiences of life. But the body is an instrument. The body is a vessel, more than a vessel that sounds like containment. The body is the very emanation of that which is within. And what frequently dominates the within is the sense that I've been raised by sheep and that I live in a world. I live in a world that's somehow keeping me from being who I really am, to one degree or another. It's a wonderful story by Anthony DeMello from the book Awakening. DeMello is a Jesuit priest, an East Indian Jesuit priest, but an amazing being. Spirituality, he said, means waking up. Most people, even though they don't know it, are still asleep. They're born asleep, they live asleep, they marry in their sleep, they breed children in their sleep, and they die in their sleep without ever waking up. They never understand the loveliness and the beauty of this thing that we call human existence. You know, he said all mystics, Catholic, Christian, non-Christian, no matter what their theology, no matter what their religion, are unanimous on one thing. But tragically, most people never get to see that no matter how big a mess things are, all is well. Strange paradox. They never get to see that all is well because they're asleep and they're having a nightmare. And so sometimes we wake up, something triggers us awake again into a deeper realization. Then we go back to sleep because that's what we do. And then we grow and unfold. I heard a story DeMello said about this gentleman who knocks on his son's door. Jaime, he says, wake up. Jaime answers, I don't want to get up, Papa. The father shouts, get up, you have to go to school. Jaime says, I don't want to go to school. Why not, asks the father. 3 reasons, says Jaime. First, because it's dull. Second, the kids tease me. And third, I hate school. And the father said, well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you have to go to school. First, because it's your duty. Duty? That didn't work. Second, because you're 45 years old. And third, because you're the headmaster. Wake up, you've grown up, you're too big to be asleep. Wake up and stop playing with your toys, says DeMello. Waking up is unpleasant, he said. You're nice and comfortable in bed. It's irritating to be woken up. Wake up, I say to you. Wake up. The nature of rain is the same, but it makes thorns grow in the marshes and flowers in the gardens. What's he talking about? Asleep, awake. I've been hearing that since I started in religious science and unity back in 1973. It was the first time somebody said this thing about waking up. We're asleep in consciousness. But you're not asleep in consciousness. The reality of you is you're not asleep in consciousness. You might pretend to be from time to time, but you've sat through too many of these teachings and lessons and read too many of the books and seen too many people and heard too many things to pretend that you're asleep. You can't pretend it anymore without noticing that I'm pretending I'm asleep again, or I'm pretending that I'm dominated by fear again, or I'm pretending that I'm limited by either my physical or my financial or my life circumstance, or that I'm mired in the sense that somebody is doing something that's going to be harmful for me in a way that causes me to shut down, close the doors, and have to protect myself. You know when you're doing that now. Or you're in a place where you're really noticing that you're not doing it so much anymore at all. That it's not the way you used to live. It's not the way you used to think. Because these truths have been penetrating you for a long time. You can't sit through 1,000,000 services and not have the vibration of those truths penetrate your beingness. You may not feel ripe, or even that you're realizing the benefit of all that time and effort. But these truths, when you start to entertain them, I mean, look how many, and you And you, Ireland, you're so young. You have been exposed to these ideas. And you know what people say? Boy, I wish I'd heard that when I was young. My life certainly would have been different. It's not true. It's not true that we get it just because we're young. As a matter of fact, we go outside the garden again and have to find out for ourselves. You have to generate it and regenerate it for yourself at that level over and over and over again. You have to be a little bit hungry for these teachings, for them to continue to inspire how you're making the decisions and the choices in your world, in your life. In the first lesson of Lessons in Truth, she tells us just these few pointers, once again, to remind us of who we are. There is one source of being, capital B. There is one source of being. Nothing bees, but that there is only one source of all being, in, through, and as all being. Being is not a static state in my mind, in my growth pattern. The kind of being is that infinite constancy of life itself. There is only one source of all beingness, and that is in the evolutionary waves, in the devolutionary waves, in the upsurge, in the downturn, in the rising up, in the knowing, in the unknowing, in all forms of life, in all of space, in all of that which is beyond space or comprehension. There is one, and it doesn't live in a place called heaven, stroking its beard night and day, deciding who are good and bad children. There's one source of being. It would be good to be in alignment with that one source of all being, because it seems to be the place where all power comes from, and all strength, and all wisdom, and all inner revelation, and all growth, and all resolution, and all transformation, which is a word I've been straying from. One source of all being, in and through all things. We can make a decision about it, she said. We have free will. We can decide that that presence, that power, that wisdom, that evolutionary flow is good. Because the nature of it does not pick and choose, because it's not an intellectual form like our humanness, dictating through judgment who gets the good and who gets the bad, and who gets the rain and who gets the fire, and who gets the loss, and who gets the blessing. It is not deciding for you on the basis of you deserve or do not deserve. There's nothing but deserving. There's nothing but divine flow. There's nothing but source of being manifesting in and through and as us, until it hits this something called free will, and in that we make what we call personal choice. And we say, if I don't have a God that's like blessing me for all the good things I'm doing, and if I don't have a God that's going to be there for me in the way that I think God should be God for me, we continue to set up these barriers, like God can't be present in a traumatic accident. For who? For what? For because, for just because, for no reason, not to do harm, not to cause negativity in people's lives, not to punish, not to leave us destitute. It seems to be in the natural flow or the natural order of the way life is moving, and we're in the face of it in that given moment, and God didn't put us there for the most part. We said, I think I'll turn left today instead of right. And where did that come from except in that engagement I have to make choice, to have thought? The source is the living fountain of all good, be it life, love, wisdom, power, or whatever. The giver of all good means the encompassing of all of life, as we understand it and can comprehend it from the place we stand in this moment in time. You say, well, it doesn't feel good to me. Screw that, God. Say, yep, there's room for that. There's room for defiance. There's room for resistance. There's room for rebellion. There's room for there is no God. There's room for it all. Because we're in the process of discovering at depth something greater and far more than we can ever comprehend in the place we stand. Who wants a God who isn't going to respond to my request that my brother or my sister be healed in the way they should be healed? And we say, well, I'm telling you this. There's only one presence. And it's there and it's here. Just because. You say, I don't want it. You say, well, try to get out of it. Where are you going to go? You're that which is that which is. You can't get out of it. Nowhere to go. What? You could find another planet. You can find another universe. You can fly as far as you ever can discover flight would take you. There's only that, which is the generative, evolving creative energy. However, Emily Cady said, when you begin to realize it for what it is and the intimacy with which you are in relationship with that presence, suddenly you discover that it's more personal than anything you can ever imagine. It's that fire, that light, that life force. And when we are in alignment, when we're in the infusion of our own realization, infusing that into our mind, suddenly there's something present. We say, well, it's so abstract. Well, it's so abstract and totally intimately personal because you're of that. The very juice of that is everything that is. And that's you on all levels of your being. You're connected every moment. And she said, you have the power to draw upon this source. You have the power. How? How do you draw upon it? Cady says you draw upon it by becoming awakened to the conscious awareness of that. You say, I'm not enlightened. It's not about enlightenment. Can you be conscious of the good that's present in this moment? Can you be conscious of the love that's present in this moment? Can you be in gratitude for the movement of everything that it's taken for this moment even to be. You say, well, I didn't like it. You say, well, it seems not to have mattered that you didn't like it. But could you accept it? And could you accept that there's God in this? Not as just word or lip service, as we call it, but in reality. Can you accept it? Can you align with that which is only good? Spirit, we say, presence. She uses old language, Father, man. I have just don't even rest there. The infusion of truth transforms us. And when we hear it, and someone says once again, you're not the eagle in the chicken yard, and you're not the lion who's grown up with the sheep. Not that sheep aren't gods in being. Not that baby lions aren't gods in being. Not to lessen or make one greater. No. There is only that which is. And that which is that which you are in life, in sickness, in health, in all the experiences of beingness. God loves me and approves of what I do. It's the affirmation she gives us in this first lesson. God loves me and approves of what I do. Well, she's distanced a God that's going to disapprove of you. It can't do anything but approve of you. That which is would have to step out of itself, which is not a possibility, and stand pointing the finger at one of us or all of us because of what we think or what we believe or how we live or what we choose. It's not like that, and we'll go on with it next week. God loves me and approves of what I do. God loves me and approves of what I do. Is that free reign to get your AK whatever and head on down the road? No. Is it? Is it? Of course it is. Of course it is. We don't get to separate out the part we don't like. It's either all one or it's not. The part we don't like, we don't want to have in the mix. Well, we'd be fine if we didn't have that part in the mix. Oneness would indicate that there is good everywhere, even in the parts we don't like, even in the parts we think shouldn't be there. And that's why we do our work in consciousness, to begin to be more about the embrace of life as a whole, in its wholeness, instead of just the part we want. There is that which is in all. Always has been and always will be so. It's time for ending, but I could go on for a really long time. Do you get that? It's like, this is where the conversation is. Get our heads out of the political arena for a while and give that energy over to the exploration inwardly of our oneness and see what happens. All right, my friends, next week, same time, same bat channel, as they say. It's 12:16, and we're going to receive the offering if anybody knows where the bags are. Are they there? Yay! Ellen's got the bags. With gratitude in our hearts and the awareness that if there's only one presence and one activity in and through all of life, it is abundance, and it is abundant. And if, as I've been saying, we are that which is in manifestation, then we are abundance in expression. It's not what we have, it's who we are. And then it's what we do. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. And so it is. Deep, you can gather. You gather.
What, no music for collection?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We see it blessed and multiplied for those of you online. Your gifts can come to us through the mail slot in the front door, through our online donation link. And we're grateful for your gifts as well. There is one presence and one power active in my life together. There is one presence and one power active in my life, and all is well together, and all is well. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week. Let's sing together.